vid 2, we will do our Surya Namaskara A, and then we will add in high lunge, low lunge, fire hydrant, and warrior 3. It'll just be like 10 minutes-ish, I think. I don't know. Okay, so we'll start seated. Do our centering. So placing one leg in front of the other, not crossing one over the other, but in front of the other, pressing the knees out and open. Pulling up through the crown of the head, removing any flesh from beneath the sit bones. Sitting tall, engaging through the core, finding space through the back of the neck. Placing the hands either on the lap or on the knees. Palms up for energy and down for grounding. Or if you need a little bit of inspiration, you can place the fingers on the ground beside you. And breathing. So inhaling deeply and exhaling fully. Exhaling any stale air. Exhaling any negative energies. Inhaling all the positive, all the good. Noticing where you're at today and honoring where you're at today. And then inhaling the arms up. Exhale, folding, walking the hands forward as far as feels good, pressing open through the hips, keeping sit bones rooted. You can walk your hands back up and roll onto the knees, or just roll your hips forward, coming into our tabletop. So rooting wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, pressing down through the tops of the feet, engaging through the core, and then pressing up through the shoulder blades. So that activation is what you would want to have in plank through our vinyasa. Rooting down through the base of every single finger, maybe slightly rolling the shoulders open and just a little bend in the elbows, and then tucking the toes under, lifting the hips up to the sky, pressing the chest towards the thighs, releasing through the back of the neck, coming into our down dog, but keeping that openness through the shoulders, keeping shoulders away from the ears. Then lifting left leg, bending left knee, and opening the hips to the side, but keeping equal weight through the shoulders, coming into our fire hydrant. Can you imagine why it would be called that? Pressing the heel towards the bum, and then rolling that knee towards the center of the mat, coming forward, stepping left foot where left hand is. Maybe wiggling the right leg back so your heel is over the toes. Pressing up through the root, so through the base of the spine, and then beginning to, on the inhale, come up, engaging through the legs, coming into our high lunge. And maybe lifting through the core, making sure the ribs are tucked in. And then exhale, lowering the hands, dropping the back knee, untucking the back toes. Pressing right hip forward, left hip back. Inhale, sitting tall. And exhale, settling in, taking the hands to the ceiling or bending the elbows and opening through the chest. Maybe taking a slight back bend here, looking up. Maybe try closing the eyes. It's like almost impossible to balance with your eyes closed. And then dropping the hands to the mat. And tucking the back toes under, and then start to shift your weight forward and lifting up through the back foot, pressing through the back heel. Hips are both pointing towards the mat, and then slightly bending the knee, breathing, finding a focal point, looking ahead of the mat. Begin to start lifting the arms. Palms are face down, coming into our warrior 3 and extending through the back of the neck, through the spine. Breathing deeply. And if you fall out, it's okay. Just come back to it. And then dropping the foot down, exhaling forward, pressing back through the thighs, bending the knees, shaking it out, maybe shaking it through the glutes. And inhale halfway. And exhale, lowering. And planting the hands down, rooting through all the base of the fingers, bending the knees, and jumping or stepping to the back of the mat. Keeping high through the shoulder blades, lowering down through our chaturanga, keeping elbows tucked in. Then you can choose your adventure here. Inhale, upward dog, cobra, or baby cobra. But engaging through the core. Then exhale, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips to the sky, coming back into our down dog, breathing. Rolling open through the shoulders, pressing up through the hips. Whenever you're ready, lifting right leg, bending right knee, and opening the hips to the side, kicking back towards those glutes. Pressing slightly down through right shoulder. Then rolling the knee towards the center of the mat, stepping right foot to where right hand is. Reaching back through right hip, pressing forward through the left hip, engaging up through the core. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you inhale and reach the arms, engaging those ribs in, or interlacing the hands behind the back, and then reaching the arms towards the sky. And maybe you can start to tip the upper body forward, extending through the back of the neck, looking in front of the mat. And then lowering the hands down, dropping the back knee, untucking the back toes. Coming into our low lunge. So again, pressing back through right hip, engaging up through the core. And holding here. Or slowly bringing the hands to the knees, tightening through the ribs. And maybe you bring your hands to heart center in prayer, or maybe you lift the arms up. And slowly on the exhale, lowering the hands down to the mat. Tucking back toes under, beginning to shift the weight forward. Kicking left leg up, pressing down through the heel, breathing. Acting like there is a wall behind you that is balancing you. And slowly starting to lift up through the chest. Trying not to grip through the toes, but through the base of the foot. And maybe reaching the arms beside the body, palms face down. And inhale, slowly starting to come up, bending left knee, shaking it out. And inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, folding. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, folding. Planting the hands, coming onto the toes, lowering the bum down, sitting onto the bum. And taking the soles of the feet together, coming into our Baddha Konasana, or butterfly. And pressing the knees towards the ground, lifting up through the chest, through the crown of the head. Begin to bend the elbows, pulling the chest forward. Breathing. And slowly coming back up, taking whatever foot was in front last time, putting the opposite in front. If you don't remember, that's fine. And sitting up tall, maybe placing a bolster or a pillow under the hips to elevate them higher than the knees. It helps feel a little better on the low back. Taking a few cleansing breaths, inhaling deeply through the nose and exhaling fully through the mouth, making an audible exhale. Doing this several times. Maybe closing the eyes, softening through the eyelids.